With the release of the Quest line from the tech giant Meta in May 2019, the VR industry has been ruled and quasi-monopolized, with Meta having an almost 90% market share in the first quarter of 2022, leading to the stifling of innovation, increased prices of headsets, and no one to check the unrivaled power of Mark Zuckerberg. Unless your name is Valve. Despite the Valve Index costing $1,000, double the price of the Quest 3, the Valve Index is still the second most popular headset, with 20% of all people on the Steam platform owning one, despite the high price of entry and needing a powerful computer to run the headset in the first place. Just think, if Valve can achieve these numbers and hold their own against Meta with only one headset, which, unlike the Quest headsets, is not wireless, does not have hand tracking, and does not have AR pass-through capabilities. Imagine what Valve could do if they released their own Quest competitor, or even the Quest killer. And with that, I present you the Valve Decard. The Decard is this elusive standalone headset that has been floating in the internet space since June 2022, when the patent for a potential standalone headset were published by Valve, setting the VR community on fire, with hopes for a competitor in the standalone industry that is not just another Quest copy from China and doesn't cost $3,500. You might look at these patents and think,
wow, after 4 years of development since the Index was released, this is the best they can come up with?
But I think you should calm down and realise that a patent is more of a proof of concept. I mean, this was the original patent for the Knuckles controllers. Come on. Much different from the ones we ended up with. So I'd advise you to take this design with a pinch of salt, because the end product could be very different. Now, what is so good about the Decard? Why have I so dubbed it
the Quest Killer?
Well, if the data mining by the YouTuber Sadly It's Bradley is correct, then this headset will be completely wireless, yet still allowing you to access your Steam VR library playing games like Half-Life Alyx without tripping over and breaking your $100 index cable. It would also have hand tracking capabilities just like the new Quest 3, and have the ability to use AR applications with pass-through on the headset, allowing you to see and interact with stuff in the real world without putting your headset on and off again. But for me, the most exciting thing about this headset would be the Fiated Rendering. Valve engineer Yazan Aldi Hayat, I can't pronounce his name, someone who worked on the Steam Deck OLED, has reported to have developed an eye-tracking foveated rendering process for VR headsets. This is huge. This will quite frankly open so many doors for VR. If eye tracking can be released on a consumer grade level for the PC VR industry, then it will allow for greater visual clarity on any and all games and applications whilst using less resources to power it, and game devs will be able to use it as a feature in any of their up and coming games. Like, please just imagine you're playing a VR horror game and that game knew exactly where you're looking. You cannot escape the jump scare. You will be head on, well, eyes on, with whatever the dev wants to throw at you, and there will be no looking away at all. Now, whilst quite frankly, this does sound terrifying, it will greatly immerse you within the world they're trying to create. And I think, for one, that is the most important factor in any great game: the immersion, the suspension of disbelief. By becoming immersed in a game, you're going to enjoy it so much more. And that is why I believe foveated rendering is the next monumental step in the VR industry. Not only because of the increased visual fidelity, but because of the added complexity it can bring to the VR games that will make it unique from flat screen games, as this is a feature accessible only in VR, and that is why I am truly excited for the Valve Decard. Just to top all of this off, I want to ask you something. You could believe that everything I just said here was horse shit, but then I ask you this: why would Valve create all of these patents and Valve engineers create all of these advanced processes for nothing? Why would Valve keep updating and improving the Steam VR app? Why would Valve release Steam Link for Quest headsets to connect to Steam VR? For the shits and giggles? Hear me out on this. I think the Steam Link for the Quest headsets are one big and glorified beta test for a Decard Link. Think about it, Valve don't love meta. They are not going to create an app to improve the lives of people who don't even use their product. This is to test and find bugs and fix them prior to a release of a Decard Link, so they can hit the shelves and people can use the Decard with no bugs and take over and destroy the current VR industry as we know it. Unless this is all one big copium and a Decard is never going to exist. We never know. Gabe might bin it the next day because he can't be bothered. Who knows? Subscribe, follow my Twitch. Bye.